Join the interview channel, by the way. Ungurs is there.
Oh, yeah, I'll move over.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
How we feeling?
I don't know. It should be close series.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully.
Do you have any idea what Civ picks he's gonna go for, and any prep thoughts on your preparation?
There's been zero preparation, but I know his civics. I mean, it's probably gonna be like Otto, France, Brit,
Uh-huh. Okay, zero preps.
Well,
Are you feeling confident then?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
He gave us exclusive insight, but he was not going to pick Brit under any circumstances this series. Hint, hint, wink, wink. I don't know. He believes that Brit game one's not a good vibe with him, so I guess that kind of only leaves France for game one there for PhoeniX. So we'll have to try and work it out. Is it the first game a agree matchup, or is it blind pick?
Agreed.
All agree. Unless you can't agree, then it's blind.
Was that why that maybe the Kaiser Revnak series took 20 minutes in between each game, and just endless back and forth bantering and bartering of
Exactly.
If you do it Civ, I'll bring this Civ. It's the classic Civ dances. We used to spectate these Civ dances in the game lobby back in the base game. You just watch somebody go, what about this matchup? And it's maybe, I don't know, Russia, Germany, and then the Russia player goes, it's not a good matchup, so I'm going to go for maybe, I'll go Japan into Germany, and then German player goes, actually, I'm not too sure about that, maybe I'll go to Aztec, and then the Japan goes, I don't like Aztec, go to, Russia again, then the person goes, I don't like Aztec into Russia, I'm going to go Germany, just an endless cycle of just Civ exchanges.
I guess, Ungurs, what Civs are you? You're pretty comfortable with a wide range of Civs, is that right?
Well, I haven't really played Otto and Brits and okay, from the S tier civs that people say are S tier, I know France, maybe a little bit of Brit, but yeah, mostly I just play Germany and Howdy and Lakota.
Well, Germany's clearly S tier according to some players.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess best of luck, and just message us in between, when you're hosting and starting, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, best of luck, Ungurs.
All right. Cheers.
So it's interesting that Ungurs on the ladder is top 30 at the moment. He's kind of not grinding games to grind elo, it seems. He's kind of grinding games or playing a random Civ and just kind of seeing what things stick and what floats. And he's probably been up against basically the Otto Baja on the ladder spam quite a bit. He's kind of dropped down to 2k elo flat, similar level with Azam, but he's definitely more talented than 2k elo.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's probably, I mean, given he's this deep in the turn, he probably minimum 2200, probably 2300. But I guess we'll see how he plays today. It's pretty tough playing against PhoeniX. PhoeniX can kind of run you around and just have high APM, and you have to play pretty solid versus him. You have to be awake.
I reckon maybe a little bit of added treat would be if everyone's twiddling their thumbs, not knowing what to do, could get some support games featuring the losers of the round of 8, which I guess so far is King of Osme and you. Possibly Ungurs and SoldieR. That does seem like some tasty matchups there.
Yeah, that does seem interesting. There's definitely a lot of people in this tournament that if they played each other, it'd be pretty cool series, I feel.
I wonder if it was ever set up from the start that Revnak would face off versus Kaiser, just for the hype and viewership. And it seems the joke was that most other tournaments somehow was Minimolt and SoldieR would face off in the round of 32-64. It's we've gone from 2 NA players down to 1. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's sad. The NA players have been taking each other out. Minimolt and SoldieR, the past 2 big tournaments, have taken each other out. Sad to see. I was trying to hold it down for NA, but I got absolutely cooked.
Well, I mean, you did better than me.
Were you in the tourney? No.
No,
Okay.
God, no. I've tried to do like show match series and like try and like play somewhat seriously, but I can't get into the right headspace. Even though like I tried to win all my quick search games, which I haven't raged out of, for example. I do try to play, but I don't know. Even like I played like a series versus Blackburn like about, I don't know, 6 months ago. Just lost 4-0. I was like, oh. I mean, I did come home from work. I was probably tired on a Friday. It didn't help.
Blackburn. Oh no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some days I'm 1600. Sometimes I'm 1780. But I'm not really pushing past that. And sometimes it's poor decision making. Sometimes it's just not having control. And sometimes it's just like, yeah, I like to hang out with these lower players.
Yeah. I think ELO just depends so much day to day. Like, I feel like some days I'm playing like 2400 super solid, but then like today I don't know, just a bit sick, bit under the weather, playing early. All these factors lead to big fluctuations in like how you play the day of. So even though like PhoeniX is a really strong player, you could kind of see like Ungurs have an upset. If PhoeniX has a bit of an off day, Ungurs has an on day. Anyone can kind of beat anyone at the top level. Perhaps
Jacob's asking when the match is. I think they're in lobby picking game number 1. Just before we head into it, do we have maybe like a scoreboard we can use, or I could cover? I can send you something to cover the timeline. I know we're watching in live. That's
yeah. Let me see if I can get this scoreboard working.
There's nothing worse than joining the series halfway through and you're thinking, is this game 1 or is it game 5?
Right. I think there we go. That should be it.
I mean, that was... Is that like a web plugin which someone else is externally managing?
No, I just have it on my computer.
You didn't just create that, no?
No. Let's see. I think it should be up there. Is it up on stream? Yep. BEA, beautiful.
I wonder if Baus has realised he's muted himself yet. To me, that is.
Yes, I was talking. Sorry, I mute myself when I cough. I'm a bit sick right now. So if I do that again, just let me know.
Do you mute yourself to the whole stream, though? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody can hear it except for Harrison. I rate him. He does not deserve to catch my lurgy via the internet.
Oh yeah, I was talking to the stream, not to you. That's crazy. It's because I don't like you, you know? You make fun of my auto.
Come on. Look, I know we have some rough times.
Yeah.
Me calling you Bodo. But... Man, you didn't even win versus Revnak with Bodo. Come on. Where's your integrity?
0-2 with Bodo. Proves Bodo's a D tier civ, I believe.
Did you try that Church FI build, or you just play Jazz? Because if you're playing Jazz, you did it wrong. It's Church FI all the way.
Yeah.
You know, Karim shows us the light, and he doesn't even know the word unit control. That's just imagine with someone with good unit control.
No, I mean I fully agree.
Yeah.
I definitely had the idea. It was game 1 versus France, and I'm pretty sure if you go for some, pretty turtley gameplay, you can have some good things happen.
It's one of those things that, like, I think a lot of how we view how the game plays is completely different. How they would view how the game plays, and if you have the same mentality as Karim, it's like, yeah, I can try and do an F5 versus everybody, and then actually you play it, because quite often you do it to the third age thinking, I really should get a couple of Abus guns to cover just in case, maybe a bit of poke, maybe a bit of cavalry raiding, or get some market attacks and all of this, and then by the time you've done that, so you're like invested so much other resources in just generic infrastructure, but the other person would have been in the fourth age at that moment. Like, that's probably the difference. Are you able to screen share your side on Discord for like 15 FPS?
True.
It's a bit more in-time.
Let's see if it slows down the in-game time, because I think if there's like the streaming plus Discord, it might slow the in-game time.
Yeah, it does, and it's kind of why, like, when I stream, it's graphics to minimum, everything else to minimum, and it's just about doable.
I should actually. They want me to turn graphics up, I believe.
Well, yeah, as long as you got your frame rate at max, VSync off, that's fine. I mean,
just do like medium for some
if
stuff.
your PC can handle it, your PC can. I wouldn't put water too much higher though. It's fine as it is.
Yeah, water's fine.
Might be worth restarting your PC as well. Not PC, restarting
restart
the game.
the game, exactly. I think the 3-minute delay should have just started, so the timing will work out well. I wonder what the Civ picks are game 1. I think PhoeniX is going to go Brit.
I can't see a reason why he wouldn't want to go Brit, because it's also Great Plains is a map with not great treasures and only the good treasures in mid-map. You might find 90 wood, you might find the 130 food. Very rarely, it rarely spawns. But there's always a chance that, mid-map treasure being the XP, you can go mid-map with tower, 2 manor houses, drop down your first racks and kind of just somewhat play for middle map contestation and kind of grow from there. I do think PhoeniX will, push comes to shove, will go for Brit as a comfort pick.
Yeah, I think Brit's really, really good on Great Plains as well. Just a lot of hunt, pretty open map. You can kind of raid and buy time, and just feels like the right way to do it. Let's see, do we
So
have
put
it
in all regions.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Boom. Bring us in here, game 1, Sir Harrison.
You need to restream your Discord because he closed the game.
Oh no!
Oh no! I've heard the intro.
Beautiful. We're
Quick. Here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another casted game. We're in the round of 8 of the PK Clan Tournament 5 between Ungurs and PhoeniX. We're in the Great Plains of game number 1, spawning down to the southwest map in the colour blue. It is PhoeniX playing as the French. Ungurs spawning to the northeast map in the colour red playing as the Germans. My name is Harrison. I'm joined by the OnlyBaus as well, a fellow round of 8 competitor. Turns now into caster. Sorry.
Oh yeah. And looks like, okay, so France-German is a pretty even matchup. I think on the maps where France can get the 12-10 quicker, they're pretty favored against German, but on a map like Great Plains, where they're likely not to get any food to help them age, I think it's a pretty even matchup. And look at this, 85 wood to German. This is a really good start for Ungurs.
Yeah, it's kind of a map that Germany would want to kind of go to the third age and buy time, but look at the middle map in terms of double XP treasures. Could this be a somewhat of a map where French does like actually a forward stable, then backed up by forward racks and 700 wood, and just kind of do like a must-cast H2 and just really pressure Ungurs that way? I feel that if PhoeniX kind of did like a semi-FF as well, it kind of plays into Ungurs' hands.
Yeah, Germany kind of struggle in H2 just because of awkward units like Bow Pike. They don't have a Musk. So I think if France kind of opens Musk and secures these treasures, it could be pretty good. But I think if Ungurs ends up scouting those treasures, which I'm sure he will before he ages, he might switch up his game plan and go potentially H2 as well. I think these two treasures are actually game deciding.
Well, the thing is, those treasures, it makes you feel that you'd want to commit more to a cav semi-play. I know that they are dragoons, or they look like dragoons, but actually treasure guardians are not classed units. They're just guardians, so they don't counter cav. They don't get countered by pikes. It's always funny, you're watching a pikeman attack that, and they just do 8 damage, and you think they do more, but they don't. It's one of those small intricacies, but actually it rewards cav players taking those treasures because they move in pretty quick. Melee damage is pretty good versus those guys with high range resist. Pick up the treasure, and then you just kind of bought yourself another shipment as a result of it, especially if you take 2 of them together. It's by about 600 worth of XP in terms of kill bounties and rewards, so it's worth fighting for.
Pretty solid age up from both. It was 223 from France, which is pretty perfect macro without any food treasure. And it was like 243-ish for German, which is pretty good. A lot of times on this map, you don't get good treasures and you have to 17 build. But he got 16 with a bit of idle, which is pretty good for German.
Because it looks like that Germany's not aging up that much later than France is, and the whole thing about France is the 12-10. Oh my god, I'm aging up so fast. But yeah, 16 vil when you can as Germany is very nice, and that's going to be an earlier TP, which doesn't look like it's going to get an earlier pass of experience points. Tell you what's interesting here from Germany's point of view, he's not started any of the mid-map treasures to then kind of try and get an easy pickup on the first batch of Ulans from the shipment. That's another strategy. Kind of take down 2 in age 1 and just sit around protecting another treasure with 2 outlaw riders so they can't be stolen, and then you just turn up with your first early batch of units, because I'm expecting Ungurs to get out Cav way before PhoeniX will get any units out.
Yeah, and I'm assuming we're going to see a Rax, like, kind of here. Or it could be safe, but probably a Rax just to secure... Ooh. Forward Vils, he's doing a little dance, and yeah, there's a Rax to secure these treasures. Really nice play from PhoeniX.
So I know you're saying Rax, and I know you're saying Musketeers, and I'm saying a Muscast is a good combination, but what makes the difference between going for a Rax first to a stable first? Because my intuition would be the stable first makes more sense, and then add in maybe double Rax support later on.
Yeah, I think both are pretty decent. I prefer the Rax from France because if both players go Cav, that kind of favors German, where 7 Ulan beat 5 Huss. But with a Rax, like especially right here, you'll have the Musk out in time and be able to snipe the treasure. And German is starting bows, which is the correct adaptation, but is he going to be in time to contest this treasure? I don't think so. Or it could be close, actually.
Yeah, if I was PhoeniX, I wouldn't want to start that treasure with just 5 Musk. I know he's going for it, but it just... Oh, he's going melee, he doesn't know, they're not Cav! Come on! You're a top 10 player, top 5 player, but they're not Cav!
I think the melee still does faster DPS, I believe.
Yeah, he's bypassed in their range resist, so that is smart, so I'm just losing my head for no reason, but it's still funny.
This is really good for Ungurs, actually. He's not going to get the treasure. Oh!
Crack shot available. Jelly got in for it, but PhoeniX... Oh, he could have, but must have clicked and got the bug.
If he would have sniped that treasure, that would have been the absolute best case scenario here for German, but now he's kind of losing a few bows, and it's not looking too hot for Germany here.
And it's also just how European barracks work. You never really get ahead of your opponent's mass if you both have 1 production and you're both constantly 5 batching units. So Ungurs, he's adding in 8 bow to try and catch up in the crossbow mass versus the musketeer mass, which is one way of doing it. Otherwise, it would be like Semja would get a second Rax to kind of deal with this. Stable in from PhoeniX. Like, I would feel that stables at home and when you're going aggressive is just like, it feels like a normal play, but actually waiting for another batch of Cav for extra 5 or 6 seconds could mean such a big difference. I always want to see those buildings kind of committed forwards. I think adds a little bit extra value there.
I'm just going to crack shot 1 and back up here. I like that. He doesn't want to commit, which is really the correct decision here. And PhoeniX is going to wait for... Ooh, he's even shipping 3 Huss. So he's going to have this like 8 Huss timing. And I think it's going to be super strong versus German here.
Yeah, if you notice as well, he went for 700 coin beforehand on the stable, so he has the resources to smash out some Hussar batches. He's got enough wood for housing, and he's kind of didn't get enough housing in time, but it's a bit of a shame, but he's going to go for a full batch of 5 Musk, and probably Minutemen, because it's going to be sandwiched in. A bit of a trouble for Ungurs to get out, and this is going to be awkward for him.
So the Ulan snaring the Huss, Boat trying to get out here, but the Pike are just a bit late, and I think once this batch of Huss comes from PhoeniX, only a batch of 3, but still just the trade going so well here for PhoeniX. I think we're going to see a GG.
Batch of 3 plus 3 from the shipment, but Bow Pike always feels terrible into Muscas. And yeah, this is not even a poor fight, it's been an absolute whitewash, unfortunately. It's been a total disaster in the middle of the map. And Ungurs has basically left now with no momentum to do anything.
Yeah, and Ungurs is nowhere near aging. It looks like he's just going to bow pike it out in age 2. And, I mean, PhoeniX correctly just going to continue Muscuss.
Yeah, look at that, 600 coins to kind of further, add resources to the masses and get big batches out. He's going to carry on pushing, and Dops as well, that's just right-click territory for the Musks, and they'll just go down one by one, just about surviving a whole volley, but it's a lot of resources go down. Minutemen do come out. However, I think it's correctly kind of keeping his distance and playing it safe here. He's just playing the most safe way to get the most likely victory result here instead of just diving straight in, and then Minutemen, they just don't have enough firepower here, and that is another cleanup in Ungurs' base, unfortunately.
And that's going to be GG for game 1. Wow.
Interesting, because those XP treasures, they actually, although that other one did not get taken, that somewhat encouraged Ungurs to be somewhat aggressive, because he knew that if he sat in base, I don't know, let's speculate with a 5 cav semi and just kind of chilling and not jumping on the treasures. He realised he'd be in such a poor position after having those XP treasures. So he kind of went to contest it, and it just felt the first contestation wasn't great, didn't win it. But then, the lack of anti-cav on the push out afterwards is just not ideal.
Yeah, I think PhoeniX played that near perfect. Just decision making of forward racks to secure this. It was pretty close though. Ungurs had a chance to get that treasure, but even regardless, just the Musk Huss and the 3 Huss shipment, that timing worked really well. And even if the timing didn't work well, he could still always fall back, take this treasure, sack a racks and age, and really well played from PhoeniX. And I think I'm getting an invite from PhoeniX. I think I'm gonna join their game and see like their civ pick decisions, etc.
I don't think you need to, but
He said more fun.
Look, this is the moment where you ask them to do a molten mirror, because we have many viewers would love to see a molten mirror, and it's even for both players. Come on, it's the person with more skill wins that.
PhoeniX playing a little joke here, giving me 100% handicap, saying I'm really bad at the game. Very funny. All right, I'm gonna go.
I think on the
what do I play here? I think auto.
Yeah, safe pick. Safe pick.
Yeah, safe pick, especially versus Brits on this map.
I mean, to be fair, PhoeniX hasn't put free fall yet, so you could team up with Ungurs. Ungurs can have you with 100% bonus, and you might be able to beat PhoeniX. Might be a bit close. Team 2. Stay in Germany. I don't like that into Brits. I find that even more awkwardly painful in terms of how you want to play the game and compositional matchups. It's not even that great of a map in terms of mines and availability, in terms of presence. You could try and do maybe Cree eco on like a 3 settler wagon, 700 wood, 700 coin, but Brits somewhat struggle with a German fast fortress and fast aggression, but I don't know. I don't feel comfortable watching this matchup if I was wanting to cheer for Ungurs here.
Yeah, I have seen, I think the last time that they played on ladder, it was Brit versus Germany, and somehow Ungurs pulled off the win on Tassili, which was pretty impressive. He played pretty incredibly with like some dop timings popping from the racks and stuff like that. So I think for German to win this matchup, you have to outplay in some way, and Brit can kind of just sit on their vills and keep massing. But perhaps there's some sort of age 3 timing or age 2 timing. But yeah, this matchup does feel pretty Brit favored.
I think another thing as well is that Brits could actually play this game in the same card order and the same strategy as France did last game, and quite often like you might see there's like 1,700 Brit players. All they do is like 3 vil, 700 wood, 700 coin. You age up and you start making your first building, and you maybe making a couple masks, couple longbows. 700 wood comes in, you add in your second building, and then you're spamming units on 700 coin for like a must cast timing. And you kind of have the same situation of build mid-map, control it. And if it's a vertical TP, I'm not suggesting going for Stagecoach as Brit play, but you can certainly tear down and deny German involvement on the trade line at that point quite easily. There's no way Germany really wants to try and defend that early on.
Right.
And you kind of continue that same train of thought of having that massive units, and then once you feel comfortable to age, you've done some damage, you can then age up afterwards.
The way I've seen PhoeniX play it is he does like a, standard 3 vil, 700 wood, 600 wood, and then either unit shipments or coin, but he kind of does like a pike, longbow, Huss timing, which is pretty tough for German to defend. And in my experience, this matchup plays out two ways. One is Brit sits back and does like kind of like a pike semi versus Ulan. Or Brits does this kind of aggressive like forward racks and like contains Germany and stays age 2. And I think PhoeniX prefers the latter of like the contain age 2, because longbow does do so well versus War Wagon as well. And it feels pretty tough every time for Germany to hold.
Yeah, and like if you have 3 War Wagon in the face of like 10 Musk, 15 longbow, you're not getting through those numbers. You could probably like maybe one tap those units with those high damage, high value units, but versus too much volume of units, micro just doesn't really matter at that point, because you just can't. I mean, I suppose micro is even more valuable. You have to try and keep those units alive, but it just doesn't quite work at that point. Cree trackers are just too expensive in the woods to be useful from Germany. They have the HP tech, they have CDBs, but that's not really going to help in the military side. I'd love it if it was like Huron big button timing with like, is it 1 Huron per 2 minutes or 3 minutes? But it's short range grenadiers, but without splash damage is kind of awkward. Is basically the unit class they are. Is all they do is just tank HP and skirm goonfire. That is their unit type. Is they just sit around and chill.
If we see any of that this game, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah.
I hope for it, but PhoeniX is probably the most standard player in this tournament. Just very straight up gameplay, and likes to use his like APM to outplay people if possible.
Brit on water is not really a thing, but it could be a thing, right? I guess they don't have schooners, because we would have seen schooners in decks more often.
I think Brits does have schooners.
I think they do, but we just for some reason we never really see Brits on water, because I guess that's how good Manor Houses is. We'll find that out today if they will. So we're on the second game. Ungurs staying with the Germans, spawning to the west side of the map in the colour red. PhoeniX changing up, picking his favourite civ, the Brits. Giving anxiety, will be proud, cheering him on from a different dimension. And PhoeniX winning the last game, currently in the series 1-0, looking to extend his lead here. We have the horizontal traded route, non-vertical summer spawn of the Saguenay, and PhoeniX getting mid-map really quickly, taking treasures, including the wolf pup to help him take treasures. Meanwhile, Ungurs has gone behind his base. Scouting patterns aside, well, not aside, I think the scouting pattern from Ungurs is really poor. He's given up kind of initial treasure, first pick of the treasures to PhoeniX.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the scouting pattern from Ungurs. He does get 70 food, which is nice, but also on the way, I feel like he could have grabbed this 40 XP, because German kind of struggle with their XP for the first shipment. This could have been nice to see the settler wagons a bit earlier. But yeah, now with the coyote from Brits, they can pick up a few more sheep and just kind of take control of the center and pick up treasures quickly. So it looks like a pretty good age 1 for PhoeniX.
So he went past a 2 polar bear treasure. I think that's a, save it for another day, take when need. But the wolf pup is a 9 times by 3 damage into treasure guardians, which I think is way more than the European exploring melee has. So to pick that up so early is one of those treasures that you don't really want to pick up at like 8 minutes in the game or 4 minutes in the game. But if you pick up in the first 30 seconds, you're like, oh, well, this is amazing. Makes the rest, anything else he wants to do here, relatively straightforward. He doesn't have to think too much about HP conservation. He can think about speed and efficiency of taking treasures. And it might be something to think about denying somewhat map control, TP control to Ungurs, but Ungurs has now picked up the newcomer, which I know PhoeniX did scout and decided to not pick it up on. That might be a question for later.
Yeah, really good age 1 for Brits, though. He's got 90 food, 75 wood, got a bunch of sheeps, and Ungurs just got 70 food? And maybe a coin treasure or something here. Yeah, it looks like he picked up some treasure here, but yeah, he's gonna have to go for a 17 vil with probably no idle time, but still. Maybe you could squeeze in the gang saw before.
Yeah, there's some sheep in base, so you can certainly get gang saw in ready for the transition by using the sheep. It always feels awkward when people are researching gang saw when they've already got like 10 vils on trees, because you don't get any back payment on that. It's only the tech only gives you the benefit once it's completed, and by that time they've already chopped the training post, maybe for steel traps or whatever small other things they want to kind of commit to early on. And then sometimes you don't see a German player chopping wood for the next 5 minutes.
Wow, PhoeniX is super ahead right now in terms of age up timing, as well as just the extra food and wood helped him age and get these manners quicker. And it's going to be pretty hard for German to get any raids in, because look at all the line of sight from PhoeniX already. And once he gets age 2, the line of sight will expand. So, I mean, he'll have pretty much this whole kind of like line for his base fully scouted. And what is German up to? Just chopping.
Almost looks like PhoeniX here's... Yeah, it looks like he's committing to more of a defensive style, which is okay, but does he know that he's got hunt behind his base? I think there is a hunt on top by the mine. I think both players have one. So there's enough resources for PhoeniX to sit in base for, I guess, until the 12 minutes. But otherwise, he wants to push out to that TP line area. Oh, Nuka seeing the outpost wagon, but good keep the company.
And the Explorer. This is pretty big, actually.
It will take it down to about 600 HP, I reckon, with both of them sieging it. It will go up, but that's more HP lost on it than he'd actually really want. And he needs to kind of throw it down at some point, because soon there's going to be 2 Uhlans joining the fray as well. And that would actually, the 4 of them would siege it down from being built, but it's going to go up now.
Yeah, and because of the late age, the Ulan won't be here. They wouldn't even be here originally. And PhoeniX already sending out like these extra little herding vills, which I really like. Just to like, you know, shoot a hunt once, get a bit more manor line of sight, and I'm assuming he's gonna pull those back before the Ulan come out, and gonna pick up the Nutka here for PhoeniX, which is nice. And pretty even trades. I'd say PhoeniX is pretty ahead though. Look how good his eco is. Throwing down so many manners already. And Unger's gonna go for an Ulan semi, but I mean this is the issue with Germany versus Brit, is this kind of plays exactly into what PhoeniX is doing, because you know he's thrown down all his manners, he's with 700 wood, and then he built a racks. Now he's making some pikes, which is the perfect counterplay, even killing the Explorer. And now just shipping 600 wood and gonna get even more economy. And I think the longer this goes, unless some good raids happen, I think Brits is just miles ahead.
Yes, true. Conversely, the Uhlans will go in, be annoying, cause idle, pick up a vil or 2, maybe not. But I think another aspect to raiding is how much HP you keep on the cav, because if you don't find anything, you don't find anything. But he's also somewhat forced out pikes early from PhoeniX, and then you want to think about that, the grander plan of Germany, which is kind of coming in with a big timing of essentially a big massive units, and Uhlans play such a pivotal role in that. It means that you keep all those H2 cav alive, you can just kind of, I guess, train war wagons, 10 skirms, and that's your H2, H3 army ready to go. And you see, he's not going to try exchange with pikes. He wants to try and keep these exchanges to a minimum because it's just not cost effective for him to do so. Even that might open up a way to raid villagers.
Yeah, and just good catches here from PhoeniX. Even adding in the Kree, which I really like. Just extra vills, and then you also get the 5% on all your units.
So you can see from so you see then Ungurs he's trying to make something work. He's like, I've trained some I want to try and pick up a vill. I want to try and keep pushing into that. And yes, there's only the 2 vills which kind of got snared, and the 5 stay alive. He's now moving around, but you know, all these Ullans are under line of sight of the houses. If we went to line of sight of PhoeniX, you can just track every single Ullan crossing the map pretty convincingly, pretty happily. You know where they are. You know where to move the pikes. He's moving pikes in anticipation to block. Ungurs is now thinking of going to the top channel. He's not going to go back into the base. He's going to go to the top, or he's going to make him way out. Okay, that's a sensible and smart decision there from Ungurs. But it's just, I think as a raiding player, sometimes you forget about what is seen, what's unseen, and yes, Ungurs is aging up afterwards on probably the classic 3 settler wagons, 700 wood, 700 gold, but he needs to make something happen now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what PhoeniX is really on about Brits being a weak civ here. We're on 50 vills essentially at 8 minutes into the game, and we have like 20 pike out. Feels pretty good for Brit here, and honestly, Brit doesn't even really need to push is the crazy part.
And Brits doesn't even need to age as well. Like, you can say it, like, if they're double racks and just spamming out batches of 10 longbow, they've got enough anti-cav here to kind of keep the Ullans away. And you can just say that the longbows will, may not dominate, but they certainly do well versus veteran skirms in higher numbers. I mean, they're just very good into skirmishes in general, so I think PhoeniX's position feels... I don't think he feels he's under pressure at the moment.
Not at all, and honestly, rightfully, gonna siege the TP and just back up because there's no reason to risk anything, and even the Minutemen getting called, so a pretty big overreaction. And what do we have shipment-wise? He goes 1k wood, which is a really good shipment resource-wise, but again, I feel
he's gone for artillery foundry. Look at this. So he's going to go for Falconet war wagon, I assume. So that little pick up in the middle, was there a siege and outpost? I think it's siege and outpost. Yeah. So I think the idea behind that is actually pretty nice, because there's no reason why Germany can't make artillery in H3, but like just for years and years and years, it's just it's a rare thing for German players to do. But Ungurs is going straight into it. He's like, I'm just going to go for a couple of cannon. That's going to kill the infantry. As long as I have then cav to swarm on longbows or war wagons to do whatever, he feels fine. And this play from Ungurs is basically saying, I'm not interested in having any skirmishes on the field. It's just Falks are going to replace that role. And yeah, I guess they are acting as skirmishers here for the Germans.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to defend these Falk though. And he's already on the forward coin mine. Interesting decision. He does have one back here and one in base, as well as Hunt over here, so maybe just trying to eat up these forward mines before. A nice volley from the Falk, and we'll see what PhoeniX does in adaptation to that, and it looks like it's just going to be must-cuss. And PhoeniX is actually going to be out of Hunt. He has like a bit more than 1,000 food left, and then his next Hunt is right here. And he's kind of trying to hurt it already. A nice pull trick micro by PhoeniX. But yeah, Falk plus Ulan is a pretty solid combo. But I think just the more time that's being bought, the more 10 batches come out from PhoeniX here, the worse off Ungurs is. And I think this is just going to be a click. I think there's enough stuff here.
Because it doesn't really matter if Falconet kills like 2 musks at a time, because the HP line of the Ullans is just not enough, and there's just a melting on the front, body blocking, protecting the Falconets, and his Hunt's already got around behind, picking them up. Oh my god.
Yeah, and that's just
Sometimes
Brit.
you just have to laugh.
Yeah, Brit confirmed by PhoeniX, not a good civ, sitting on 60 vills here with a bunch of pop. And honestly, I don't think there was really ever a window for German to do kind of anything.
Yeah, so what can Ungurs do to get back into this game? Let us contemplate maybe a fishing boat to the islands, one villager chop some tree, maybe get a mill at some point and slowly grow a new economy out to sea, because the land one is about to get wiped very quickly.
8 war wagons?
Yeah, he's got 8 war wagons out of somewhere. So 3 plus a batch of 4 looks like for 7. And that's, if that tied up with the other army wild who's more doing like a little pokey raidy style with the initial forces, then could have been on to something, but the problem is there's nothing here stopping Musks going to melee. I think that was the problem with the previous army composition that Ungurs had as well, is there's nothing which blocks melee. You wouldn't do that versus Spain, would you? Ulan, Falk.
Right. Yeah, I think just pretty convincing play from PhoeniX. He kind of got this manor wall where German couldn't raid and do anything, and even throwing up docks here, which is really smart because he's running out of hunt. So he can kind of trade wood for food in theory, and yeah, he was just set up. Just insane economy.
I mean, when you're on 60 vil, I think you can afford log flume and they make your economy quite slick and efficient in terms of moving onto the water, which other civs just can't do at some point. Cool. Well, that was convincing, and I think so. Ungurs only made 1 batch of cav with then 2. Is that only looked like 2 shipments actually? It looked like Ungurs did 3 saddleback and 700 gold, held the shipment for 1,000 wood, and then followed up with like 9 Ulan, 3 war wagon.
Yeah, maybe there's a world where if he waited, because I believe he just clicked 1k wood and then was it 9 Ulan and went in, but I think if he waited 1 more shipment, he could have had maybe a better chance, because all Germany has to do is win 1 fight, and then they kind of deny the map. But I think it was a bit premature for Ungurs to go in. But I think looking at the score, you just feel so behind, so you kind of got to make something happen.
Because I have like a little mini rule of thumb is like if you're aging up with units, you need to wait for 1 shipment before you can go in. But if you're aging up fast with the Exile Prince, you kind of need 2 unit shipments to then make the choice of actually going into the 3rd age to then hit your time in work. Because if you just walk in with 1 unit shipment, you don't actually hit him with that much power, and the attack falls off. But yeah, if there was 6 war wagons or even just 3 war wagons just being trained in that composition, that's like 1,500 extra HP with melee resist. Okay, yes, they would take burns from the musks, but they would definitely slow down the husk quite considerably, sniping a couple off. That Falcon could have been stayed on the map for about another 5 to 10 seconds. That could be an extra couple musks blasted away as well, and then the follow-up is maybe a possibility at that point. But yeah.
Yeah, 44 vills at 720 is pretty insane.
Yeah, that's pretty good. A couple people in the chat saying maybe have a slightly lower speed camera while moving around, and it's kind of like a bit of a wiggle, jiggle. Baus is still in his gamer mode.
Oh, sorry, am I going crazy with the camera?
Yeah, it's just the thing is, I saw some of these comments and I thought, that is one feeling a bit iffy actually as well, because it's when you control the camera, your brain knows what's coming next.
Yeah.
When you're on the passenger seat of a car and someone's driving just a little bit erratic, you're like, oh my god, please slow down, stop.
Yeah. I think it's because I just played a series too.
It's okay. It's okay. Sensei has said his camera is good, so actually turn the speed up, get back to yourself, do a normal thing, and believe in yourself. Right, I've got another bottle of beer. I'm gonna grab it back in 20 seconds.
Why are they inviting me? PhoeniX going France, Brit, France. Pretty solid picks for all these maps. And France, German again. I think Germany have a better, well, yeah, I'd say Germany have a better chance on this map because France on Great Plains kind of get the two mid-map treasures pretty easily. But on the contrary, France also gets a better 12-10 on this map because of the yaks. So, I don't know. I think this map's a bit better for German because they don't lose those big XP treasures as well as they can start TP. If Ungurs knows, I'm pretty sure he does, but if he knows the macro, you can do some fancy market stuff and start with market, TP house, and still age Idolus 17. And potentially even 16 with good treasures as well as yaks.
Is this on Mongolia?
Yeah, Mongolia. It's going to be Ungurs German again versus PhoeniX France.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, it's kind of hard, isn't it? Because you've kind of... You need to update the score to 2-0, by the way.
Yeah.
You kind of... I appreciate him going Germany the second time. But the thing is, I don't see what much is going to change in terms of this game with the others. Ungurs must have a better civ for a map like Mongolia, though. Even something like Ungurs is I suppose a bit of a China player. Like even China could work.
Well, I think German on Mongolia are actually pretty decent.
Like Brits can also work on Mongolia, kind of ish. Maybe not actually. You also got that 5k coin mining base. It's pretty nice for German. Maybe German outlaws, Mongol riders.
I think German do pretty well on this map because they have the 5k mine in base. They equally get the Mongol scout to pick up yaks. So the fact they have one explorer doesn't matter. As well as they can TP start. I think the TP start for German is incredibly good and actually makes the matchup a lot more even. But on the flip side, France also gets an Idolus 12-10 with good macro, so I'm not sure if the TP makes up for that.
I'm really struggling to open a bottle of beer with... I've got a Batman bottle opener, but it's starting to get a bit worn out. We have like a worn out bottle opener. It's worse and worse to try and open things. I'm kind of at that phase now. It's like the Batman symbol carved out into metal. So it's actually like the wings kind of operate as some like little mini finger grips, but it's also just starting to dig into my hand now. The more I'm trying to strain and stretch this to work, but it's just not actually working anymore.
You heard it here first. Harrison confirmed Batman. Confirmed.
I'm Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Batman who can't open a bottle of beer, okay? Like, I'm not going to be saving many people.
You're like a retired Batman, drinking some beer, watching some Age.
I'm Batman's assistant after Batman's gone home. Ooh, this is where Batman keeps clothes. I'm Batman.
You took home a cool bottle opener from the office.
I'm pretty struggling.
Did you get it?
No, I'm gonna get a bottle opener, a different one.
I'm just waiting on the game to start. But yeah, I think matchup-wise, I think France has the matchup just because they TP start 12-10 Idolus. German's a bit better because they get the TP start, but most likely it's going to be a 17 Vil, and I think the 12-10 is just... It's so fast from France that Ungurs will probably struggle a bit to hold it. And after this series, we also have Ketterboy versus Psionic coming up, which that'll be a nice series to watch as well. If I had to predict, probably a 3-0 from Ketter, but Psionic's a very good player, especially with France. So I think if he's given 3 opportunities to win with France, especially on Mongolia, he's got a good chance. And here we go. Game 3. Could potentially be the last game of the series. We have PhoeniX playing France again, map 3. He's winning 2-0. And we got Ungurs playing German again. So he's played German every single game. He's pretty confident with that civ. That's his main go-to. And really, this is perfect Age 1 micro from PhoeniX. You crack shot the 50 food treasure. You shoot this treasure and you pick everything else up with a bill. Because now the Explorer is going to run straight to the TP. And he's probably going to get the third pass of that of the TP line. And so we'll see what Ungurs is up to. He's cutting coin to buy twice, I believe. And if he scouts this treasure, this would be nice.
Well, because that will. Well, he buys once to get hunting dogs in a house, then he still needs to find another 100 wood and also buy 100 wood with that coin. So he's not yet committing to 8. Oh, he has got 8 on TP. Have I just missed the macro saying? Is he? Okay, he's not going hunting dogs.
So you chop the coin to buy 2 wood, and then if he would have scouted this treasure, he could stop chopping, which would be super nice. But also, just because of a few inaccuracies, I'm going to pause for a second here. Look at the timing of this, 4 seconds, and right here, he could have got that XP pass, and that's pretty big to note. And you see PhoeniX gets his XP pass, so he's, even though he should get it later, he actually is ahead of the trade post line, as opposed to Ungurs.
I think that's actually a really good point, because like, I feel in the quick search ladder pool, I know roughly where and when first passes on maps, and when it feels like a bit of a critical time, and when you have like 5 seconds spare, and when you might have 10 seconds spare. And quite often I feel like I'm pretty good in guessing that, but that is just tournament prep. And I feel players should know, like, what can I do? Where is first pass? What is my first pass? And what can I do before I have to commit to first pass? And that's just when it's your first shipment is such an impactful factor. And there's 3 CDBs on the field now for 2 minutes and 10 seconds here for PhoeniX, whereas the shipment is still coming here from Ungurs, and there's not much of an XP difference between shipment number 1 for Germany. The shipment penalty starts to really hurt later in the game, but early on doesn't make too much of a difference. But it's in his head, he's always going to be down 55, 60 XP for how much that pass is. It's not critical, but it's just a little detail which makes the early play, because it could be the difference between having your second, third shipment back to back and then awkwardly waiting for like 10, 15 seconds to then send in the next shipment.
Yeah, I did some testing on this map, especially with German, and if you do it kind of perfectly, you have time to get like a crack shot in your base, kill, get a TP, and like a 40 wood if you see it. But yeah, missing out on that XP, it's not huge, but it does kind of spiral, because he got his 2 settler wagon a bit later, so he aged up. Like a 315 age up is super slow, versus France at 210, I believe, 211. He's almost up.
And that's the problem. You're comparing Germany going, oh, this map allows me to get a trading post, but his opponent's on a map with livestock. He's probably got idleness 12-10, and I think Ungurs could have maybe 8 or 1 or 2 more yaks just to try and at least get an idleness 17. I think there's some time, a little bit of downtime as well. It just feels that in tempo-wise, he's going to be quite a bit behind, which will come back eventually. But it's going to require some nice play.
Oh my god, I think it's PhoeniX. Wow, gets bailed out there. That was a bit of a bailout.
That's the biggest bait of the season that I've seen. Once he just gets into the treasure steal and then gets the snare on afterwards. Because Ungurs is now trapped on the wrong side of the map, having to wait for set wagon shipment and the Uhlans to bail out. Interesting. Looks like he's still on H2. What?
Yeah, because the age up was so late. I think he was like 10 seconds slow, even with the 17 bill. And look how annoying he's been. He's got the settler wagon down to 100 HP. I mean, this is not what you're losing your Explorer. You've got a settler wagon, low HP. This is not what you want to see when you're down 0-2 as Ungurs. This is like just morale-wise, he's got to not be feeling the greatest here.
Yeah, and all it requires is just like 3 or 4 settlers, not settler wagons, but just settlers in the TC, just to say, okay, if you want to keep your scout, keep your scout.
Yeah.
Just stop annoying my vills. That settler wagon is low HP. You know what's going to happen as musks walk into the base. If Ungurs is not actually getting his great coats now, those 5 musks will just click that one settler wagon and we'll get a big kill on it.
And honestly, kind of the same concept as Great Plains. I think PhoeniX could just take this 300 XP treasure and be in a really good position. And pretty rough hurting here from Ungurs as well.
Where is it? If you want, we'll find out where that low HP settler wagon is, because it's sufficiently low for a bit of a cheeky drive-by. Yeah? Look at, oh god, that's so drive-by territory that is.
Yeah. And it looks
like he's going to go back in.
Still going to be massing Musk here, interestingly.
But also enough Musk to one-shot a normal Vil. He was actually building the racks of the low HP set wagon. That's brave as well. He just the little things. The chances of actually that getting punished is tiny, but it's a possibility that it could have happened. That 300 XP treasure on this map as well, it's very, very common to spawn, probably like 90%. It sometimes might spawn on the northern side above the TP line, but it's very common, but that treasure and then all the other little 5% cav techs are possible. But it's actually quite an easy treasure to take. The Mongol riders are very low damage dealing, they're quite high HP, but the blind monks are in melee, also woeful. They're okay in range. But that's much easier to take from the Great Plains treasure as well. Maybe it's just maybe people are just not expecting or not knowing the full treasure set of Mongolia as much as they do with other maps.
Yeah, again, PhoeniX is making the correct adaptation. Like he scouted the second racks in base, which like if you're gonna go age 3 as German, this would probably be a stable. And if you scout that second racks, I believe he just canceled his Musk. He's up to age 3, and Germany's going to be absolutely nowhere near age 3. They're shipping 8 bow. You know, while scores look even, France is just tempo-wise miles ahead.
Because Ungurs is thinking that PhoeniX is going to push in soon with like 8 Hus and another 15 Musk, and it's like, right, I'm going to call Minutemen, I'm going to sit behind the TC, I'm going to time it with maybe another pike shipments, call Minutemen, maybe a little bit of settler wagon Vil punching with great coats, and then I'm going to be fine. But you can't just send 8 bow just to sit in base and wait for a timing that's never coming. That's the part he's maybe not he's realised it, but he's going to push out now maybe for the XP treasure. If it's specific for the treasure, I like it. If it's just kind of to move across the map to feel that you're doing something the military here, then I guess Ungurs is kind of second guessing himself at everything he's doing. He's now he's just all in H2, which is it doesn't feel like an H2 map to Germany because of that in-base gold mine he has access to and all the yaks that you can kind of use to jump ages.
Looks like he's gonna mix Ulan and just stay H2. Explorer going down. I feel like all these little things in the game are just slowly going towards PhoeniX. Like not even able to kill the Explorer. PhoeniX is really on point with everything. And 3 DOP and training Ulan. It feels like this game is, unless some miracle fight happens, is kind of over.
I'm just not a fan of 3 DOP shipment full stop. I'd rather have 9 Irish breaks or something. Yes, of course the breaks cost 500 coins to send, and because they're mercenaries, it will take a minute to send in compared to, but I've never really got a 3 DOP shipment to kind of pay off for me. It just doesn't quite work, and just adding in Skirm, Goon, can always keep that distance. Economy is probably slightly in favour here for Germany, but it doesn't really matter if your shipment value being sent in is hundreds of resources more than what Germany's is, because you have more shipments and better shipments.
So it is a bit of a bait here from from Ungurs. Calls the Minutemen, Dops and Ulan coming in, and he's getting flanked from here, but yeah, good micro from PhoeniX, just gonna snipe the Dops with the skirm. The goons are out of here, and honestly, you could sack this whole army if he just keeps the goons up.
Well, the effort there. I like the thinking. That's really smart there for Ungurs in total. And Dragoons just do what they do best, and that's just basically break the counter system by themselves. It's such a safe unit type. I think the main thing is it's not it doesn't break the counter system, but it's just a safe unit to have, because if you're looking at a fight which is not, you cannot win or cannot take, you can just back out of it. But with skirms, you can't run away from hand cav type of situation. So I think PhoeniX is happy there to kind of let the skirms go down, because guess what's going to happen now? He's not going to make any more skirms. He's going to switch into Crassiers and come in with Goon Crassier and just for a different style of competition, which isn't going to be even slightly challenger for Ungurs to really deal with.
Yeah, really good micro from PhoeniX. Just even like saving these two skirm, just all the little details add up. But look at this raid. Hold on a second. Gonna lose. Oh, not even one Vil.
Oh, you got so hyped for that. I bless you. You got so excited.
Yeah, because
you realised that there's 5 masks there.
You know, if you lose like 5 Vils here, if you lose like 5 Vils, there is a world where you can come back in. But
yeah, was it? Oh, it was Shake in his round of 16 series. He just refused to get the greatcoats and just watched villager after villager just get killed. It was so painful.
Yeah, I believe Germany he's up, but
Crassier's in on crossbows.
Yeah.
And there's so many Vils exposed, he's already seen it. The Crassiers will just turn around, but he's just eating crossbows in the moment. And that's just, that's a masterclass there from PhoeniX. Just decimating Ungurs. And it unfortunately just made Ungurs look, you know, 2k flat elo, but it actually is just the 200, 300 elo difference between 2,200 and what a top 2,500 player actually is. And the macro decision making there, spot on. Of course with STS civs, but we'll stand aside from that one.
Yeah, S tier Germany losing 3 in a row here. Pretty crazy. But yeah, PhoeniX played really well. Just all the little details going his way. He did his homework with like perfect age 1 macro, excuse me. Crack shots the one, shoots the Mongol Rider treasure, instantly walks up and takes it with a Vil, so he gets the pass. He's ahead in XP, and just all the little details slowly adding up. And also kind of a mind game, you know. Game 1 he went for the must-cuss timing. This game, I think rightfully so, you know, only 1 XP treasure, which wasn't even taken, but just easier for him to age up, and he just did the right thing each game. Let's see if we can get PhoeniX for a little interview.
I was looking forward to a bit of Osman action in that series. I was looking ready for my Boto and my
Boto.
But no, it was just clean, clinical European civ domination, and yeah.
Hello.
Yo, hello guys.
I bet you feel
wow,
pretty good, eh?
2 games with S tier France and one game with D tier Brits. You got to tell us how you did it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm definitely feeling pretty well now. I'm really glad I made it to the semifinals. See, I'm kind of sad because at the start of the tournament, we all hoped to see Dairoga and Tavern in the semifinals, but that doesn't look to happen, does it?
No,
it doesn't. Unfortunately, you had a part in that, so that's disappointing from you as well. But no, Dairoga's a blast from the past, and some of the up-and-coming new stars are shining through, and that's you, PhoeniX, in particular. And who's your next round opponents in the semis? Do you know? Is it going to be with the winner of Kita Boy and Sonic, or is it going to be someone else?
Yeah, it's gonna be the winner between both of them.
Now, I'm just saying, if Kita Boy wins, I reckon that series could be an incredible series to watch. I'm looking forward to that one. So that will be your kind of amazing semi-final series of the tournament, which might eclipse what the final was. But we're not quite there yet. We're just we're on our way to that. And I think Daru was watching in the chat as well, so I'm sure he'll be quite happy to hear his name called out from the past.
Yeah, big shout out to Dairo. Like he was my first teacher probably.
Wow.
Will you send your bow back in the day?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. I was like 90% sure, and then then 10% just couldn't care. But sometimes it's just nice to kind of make these things a bit more solidified in your understanding.
So yeah, I proved that you can't be dog shit in the game, but at some point you can be the best player at some point, right?
Yeah, I mean, from cheating on Nilla to winning tournaments is pretty crazy.
Oh,
I respect it.
They should make a movie about this.
Yeah, cheater to champion.
Come on, stop with that shit.
I mean, yeah, you got to feel pretty good after all those games. 3-0, pretty convincing each game. I don't think there's too much to say.
Right. I mean, yeah, the best part is I did not drop a single game yet, so yeah, I'm really getting even more confidence about going undefeated in this tournament.
Do you think versus Keter you're also going to go undefeated?
I mean, it can happen, right? Like he's still very good, but it can happen. I'm not really practicing a lot, but I think if I put some effort into it and I practice really well, I could maybe pull a 3-0. But yeah, it's not gonna be easy at all.
Okay. And do you think kind of similar Civ picks, or are you gonna practice some other things?
Yeah, I think you have to adapt to the player. I think maybe versus Catra I should switch some of my Civ picks and maybe even strats.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to figure that out when I practice.
Okay. Harrison, you got anything?
No, not really. We could sweat the small stuff and be all, why did you run past the nuclear treasure in game 2? But I don't think that really matters in the grand scheme of things. I think I think what we saw was matchups favorable, but also strategically playing, I think, well as well. I think one thing that Baus was very impressed about was the kind of going with the H2 aggression play in Great Plains game 1 and getting the victory through a well-executed fight. Maybe Ungurs kind of oversteps there, to game number 3 where you kind of went in with a couple of your units. You saw an effort for Ungurs to defend with a second Drax, and you just thought, actually, I'm going to back off an age, and then there's Ungurs in base sending 8 bows, going, where is he? Why is he not pushing? What's going on?
Yeah. The game on Great Plains, I really had to make a stable and train some because my base was kind of really exposed, and if I decided to age and they would push, then I would just lose it for free. So I really had to train some hussars there. And yeah, for the Mongolia game, I was like, I could just bait him into playing some long H2, and if I make it to H3, then all of his army would be useless, and that's kind of what happened. But yeah, he did a really good job with baiting me and coming from 2 angles. I think that was the best fight he could have hoped for.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still not enough because it's really stuck in H2, and I just have H3 stuff coming.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. You did the correct thing every game, the correct adaptations. I think it just
Yeah.
just well played.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree about Brit being a bad civ. They looked pretty insane in that SAG game. You were on like 50 vills at 8 minutes.
Right. Yeah, it's only if I play them.
Yeah, I mean, I think versus German kind of just struggle versus Brits. But
To be fair, when I practiced this matchup, like I've played this matchup sometimes this week versus Revnak, and he was kind of winning most of the games. He did something similar to what Ungurs did, like just the cap semi-fast fortress into the falconets with full veteran Newlands, and yeah, it did work out for him actually. But yeah, I somehow won this one.
yeah, perhaps if Ungers waited for another shipment, could have been a bit closer. But I think your eco's just too good.
Right. Yeah. Like yeah, with the 5 crease, it was really good.
Yeah.
I was gonna struggle with the map. Like if that fight was not really good for me, I would maybe lose from there because all of the hunts are pretty much in the middle of the map, and I didn't have schooners in my deck, so transitioning to the water boom would be kind of more difficult.
Right. Yeah. But quick 3-0, well played. And good luck versus the winner of the next series, either Ketterboy or Psionic.
Yeah, thank you guys. All right, see ya.
All right, have a good one. Cheater to champion. What a man.
Question is, do we have a Karim game to spectate? Because he must be playing right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Karim, come to our savior.
Let's see what we got going on. Free food party.
No, it's not.
Nothing. You got a Shake Smurf game versus, I believe that's Wood Pusher, Strategy Enjoyer, right?
Oh, yeah, it's Wood Pusher, yes.
Oh, I think Ungers is going to come for an interview as well.
What do I ask him, Bass? What do I ask him? Oh,
go quick.
Commiserations, Ungers.
Hello there.
Yeah. Hi.
How do you feel about the series? A bit unfortunate for a 3-0, but I think you played pretty solid.
No, well, he clearly got lucky.
Yeah.
Monster Civ. I don't know what happened with Monster Civ today. He just couldn't win.
Yeah. I think
maybe not enough 9 Ulans. I don't know.
Yeah, German are good civ. Some argue they're S tier, but I think just versus France they might be a tier below. And then also that Brit just had like 50 vills at 8 minutes, which was pretty insane.
Yeah. Well, I'm not actually sure what Germany is supposed to do in that matchup, but
nor am I.
Yeah, maybe the default block play. I think it's the right choice if Brit doesn't adapt. But yeah, he made a lot of masks, and that usually counters it. So
yeah, maybe if you waited another shipment, but I still feel it was just pretty hopeless. He just had so many vills so early.
I mean, if I waited for another shipment, he has like 20 more masks, and I don't think there's a shipment for Germany that counters what he was doing.
Maybe Germany needs a 20 musk shipment.
Yeah, maybe 12 Ulans.
Yeah, but I guess game 1 and game 3 was also a bit of a mind game from PhoeniX, it looked like.
Well, game 1, I wasn't expecting him to add Huss so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I maybe the last batch needed to be pikes, and maybe I can hold it and get the second XP treasure, but I went in his base and got caught.
So the reason you stayed age 2 in game 1 was for the XP treasures, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you almost even sniped the first XP treasure. You were super close on sniping it.
Yeah. I clicked on the treasure a bit too early, so it does that
bug.
Where, if you click it too early, you don't get it. But Yeah. And in game 3, I just didn't scout, and I was afraid of a timing with all the X he had.
Right.
So I was kind of forced to stay H2, but then he correctly aged up.
Mm-hmm.
And from there on, you can't really, if you don't get a good connect, you can't really beat Scrimgoon.
And you even had a pretty good like you were behind for sure, and the game was kind of over, but you had a pretty good surround, which worked pretty well, just about as well as you could have hoped for.
Yeah, but I can't really kill the goons.
Yeah. Yeah, goon kill all.
Yeah.
I mean, still pretty cool. Make it to the top 8. You're like me. We both got bashed today. It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, who did you play against?
I played Revnak.
Oh, okay.
I lost
And the score?
3-1.
Oh, well, one's at least something.
Yeah, I'm not super happy with how I played. Yeah, a lot of auto. No auto win. I won with Baja, actually.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, even more lame.
What a beast. What
yeah,
a beast.
Exactly. But yeah, no,
Did
Revnak
you do
played
Baja
well.
only once, or what?
Yeah, just once on Mongolia.
Baja and Otto.
Baja, auto, and then I lost game 4 as France. I forgot to bake an H1 TP. And I debated asking for a restart, but I'm like, like that's kind of BM to like forget to build a TP and then restart, you know?
Do we think the man of integrity Revnak would have allowed a restart in Age 1? He'd be like, no, the rules dictate and integrity prevails.
Yeah.
Did he still use the text-to-speech?
In the interviews? Oh, yeah.
So weird. Revnak AoE says, "Hi Ungurs, I enjoyed that game on game number 3 and Botto, and it just sounds so weird.
I find it surprising that Ungurs lost 3 games with S-tier Germany, the best civilization in the game."
That's actually so good. That's so much closer.
Yeah. This proves that Germany is in fact not S-tier. Yeah.
No, it's S tier.
It is?
In his mind. Of course it is.
In his mind. What about your mind? What do you think about German?
Well, no.
Yeah.
Not S tier.
I think it's a decent A tier civ. Yeah, definitely not S though, in my opinion.
Well, in ladder, sure. On like tournament maps, it just gets shit on by France and.
Yeah.
Okay, Otto maybe not as much. France, Brit.
I mean, as someone who mains auto, I'm fairly confident auto beats Germany.
Well, on stagecoach maps, maybe. On water, sure, but like Great Plains, I think Germany has the edge.
Could be. It'd be interesting. We should play that matchup one time, because I feel very confident versus any German, but who knows? Who knows?
But yeah.
Yeah, GG's, Ungurs. Do you think you're going to play in future tournaments?
Unlikely. I'm gonna go to like another country for half a year.
Oh, so very cool. Where to?
I want Czech Republic.
Oh wow! Just like to live there temporarily?
No, I'm studying.
Oh, nice. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So no AoE
so
in the Czech
like
Republic?
No, I don't have a laptop.
You play on a PC now?
Yeah.
Well.
But maybe if he's so close.
Hang on a minute. If you're going to another country to study and you're not having a laptop, how are you going to do your work on?
Well, I have a laptop, but it's a Mac. Like the Mac laptop.
Fair enough.
I don't think you can play.
You can. Funny story. I used to play on Mac. I played on Game Ranger, and it's like fully separate to the Windows Game Ranger as well. And I think like Mito used to play there as well.
Mito was the only other person who's kind of really rinsing that back in time.
And there's a few like team players.
The old game, you can't really run the.
Oh really? Huh. Yeah, I guess you can't get Steam. Well, I think you can do what I did is I ran Boot Camp on my Mac laptop, and then eventually I could play like Steam like games, because it's essentially a Windows computer, but it's not the smoothest. I understand.
Yeah, I think it's just too much effort.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm kind of like, I haven't played seriously in like a year at least.
Yeah. Well, for not playing seriously, pretty good tournament performance.
Well, I lost in the group stage against Baja. Then I lost against UKT once. So, not the greatest. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I saw that Baja game. That was a funny one.
Oh, TP left on 4 HP. It was just so dumb. And the guy, he wins and then he types "thank you."
What?
And leaves. Yeah.
Added layer to the story. I didn't know that. That's funny. Well, GG's, Ungurs. Hopefully, we'll see you in some future tourneys. Well played.
Maybe. All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
What a lad.